I think the pressure of society is perfection.
Yeah.
And so it depends on your personality. Are you someone who's like, I don't need that? Or you're like, well, maybe I should. So, I struggled with an eating disorder for years.
Welcome to the Sober Spill podcast. I'm your host, Isabel. On this podcast, we have real conversations with people in recovery, their families, and organizations that pertain to this field. Today, I'm here with the host of the clinical side of our podcast, Jana Wu.
Thank you, Isabel. My guests will discuss best clinical practices, new emerging trends in substance use and mental health disorders, and how we can best take care of ourselves and our loved ones in recovery.
See you every Thursday.
And come spill with us soon. Hello, welcome to the Sober Spill. I am so excited to have Amanda Gabbard here, incredible celebrity makeup artist, educator. You have recently had some really big education gigs that I'm excited about, but you've done everyone's makeup. Trevor Noah, Samantha Bee, Al Pacino, Brooke Shields. I mean, so many different faces and skins. So, Charlie Sheen, who some of our listeners might know. So welcome to the Sober Spill.
Thank you for having me. This is so fun.
So tell us, why don't we start with some of who you are, how you got here, how did you become a makeup artist to celebrities?
Well, literally, instead of playing with dolls, I wanted to play with makeup when I was little. So I always liked singing and dancing and acting. And my family is very theatrical in the arts. And then I also loved makeup. So I'd watch my mom get ready for shows, watch my grandma put on her makeup. And I just thought it was the coolest thing. And so when I would get my allowance, $3 a week when I was little, I would just go to the store and just stare at the dollar makeup and be like, this is the biggest decision of my life. What am I going to get? And I was obsessed with Grease. So the pink ladies were that was my goal in life, was to be a pink lady. And I think it was a good goal. But so I did that forever. And then I went to New York after I got a BFA in musical theater. I was a performer as well. So on the side, you have the side hustle. So people wait tables, you have temp jobs. I also did makeup on the side to make money while I was auditioning and acting. So after a while, it was great. The highs are high and the lows are low. And I was like, I'm a little too type A for this. So I thought, I want to have a little bit more control of my life, but I also want to be more creative. So I have that left brain and right brain kind of thing going on. So I quit the business and I went straight into makeup. And I think that's what just went crazy. I got successful quickly doing that because also people skills. And knowing how to network and connect with people and relationships and just rejection rolled off my back. I didn't care. So I just started doing makeup everywhere. And I was self-taught, so I would learn from everyone. And I loved it so much. So what actually happened is my two passions, entertainment and beauty, I came together. So I did beauty in the entertainment world forever. And so getting the people ready backstage before their performance, they're going to sing, they're going to do a show, they're going to be on TV, the red carpet, a fabulous woman for an event. It doesn't have to be celebrities. I do regular everyday humans all the time. When I'm backstage with them and prepping them before their event, I'm giving them the gift of confidence, which sounds so silly. It's of course I'm putting makeup on and lashes and all the fun thing, but it's connecting with the human and what do they want, adapting to them. Are they nervous? Do they need some help? Giving them that confidence to go, okay, when I stand up, my shoulders are back, I can go do this. So I'm very fulfilled when they say do what you love. It doesn't feel like work. So I did that for a long time. And then it spanned into hosting, doing TV segments as a beauty expert. And explaining things in a very basic way, which I love. I'm not an elitist. I'm you can only use the most expensive products. Whatever your budget, I got you. 5 to 7 minutes, 5 to 7 steps a day. So I want the everyday human to realize, okay, I can just feel confident, look a little polished, and it just makes you feel better. So I teach a lot. I also write for a bunch of magazines. Since 2014, I know a lot of editors, and I think I talk about it so much every day. I'm let me give you my expertise, but also make it easy to understand. So I do a little bit of everything. I also started a production company with my good friend John White because we started to do branding videos for people, what their businesses are.
It's so interesting, though. I mean, I think that there's a lot there. What I love about makeup is that you don't have to change who you are. It is absolutely you, but like with enhancements. And that is so confidence boosting. And I think when I started too, as people might probably notice, like you also do men. And I think that's really interesting. I know when I've done some like news segments and gone on with some different professionals, male professionals, I'm always like, yeah, I want the makeup done. And sometimes the guys are hesitant and I'm always like, you've got to do it. Like, wait till you feel this. Like, wait till you feel all that attention on you and someone really, really seeing you. And then, like you said, like enhancing what's already there. Like there's nothing that's not there that you're not bringing out. And I think that's such an amazing opportunity for people, and then for people to really be seen. I'm curious, like, if you can talk a little bit about that, like makeup and confidence for women, because I think right now we're seeing this boom in the beauty industry. And what do you make of that?
Well, and I love your note about the men too, because I have done a ton of men, and they say, well, they don't need much makeup. Well, you're also doing their skincare too. So I'm a licensed esthetician. So I'm taking care of the women's skin before I put the makeup on. Also, it's a little bit of a little facial massage I do to relax them. And there's a trust there. So men or women, celebrity, everyday person, I'm so close to them. I always say I'm like a dentist. And like a few more inches, I'm like taking a tooth out. Like I'm so close to them. So the trust is very deep. And I take that very seriously. They feel my energy. I feel theirs. And so you see them a year later and you're like, oh my God, hi. Like you got so close so quick and you talk about things. So I really do appreciate that relationship. But I would say that when I'm doing the makeup, I don't just say, well, let's put a bunch of makeup on and then you'll feel confident. Then you'll feel beautiful. So we're just enhancing you. So your features, the best you, a little even skin tone, really good skincare, basic skincare. I teach like an easy skincare routine to follow. You don't have to spend $9,000 and 2 hours a day and a million products. Really basic, because we have one face. And also like take care of the body, like with moisturizing the body as well. So using really good ingredients, a few products day and night is a game changer. And everything we put on the face, I say put on the neck and chest. I'm like a broken record. I'm like, everything up here is great, but this is still the same. At the night, put all those nice lotions and potions on the back of your hands. But I feel like when I see them look at themselves in the mirror, it's the best gift ever, because men or women, they're like, oh, this is great. I haven't looked like this in years. But they still look like themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why, like, it still is actually you, which is really exciting. It's not that there's anything wrong with, like, any kind of body modifications, but I do love that it is, again, taking something that's already there. I'm curious, too, like, we had talked a lot about alcohol and skin. And you said something really interesting to me earlier. So I'm wondering if you can share what you notice when you do have people that stop drinking.
Definitely. So dry January is a big deal, right?
Yeah.
So holidays are always really busy, getting people ready for parties and all the things. January is probably my slowest month, which is great. No one's going anywhere. Everyone spent a lot of money and they're tired. So then they'll come February, March, and I don't say it, but I think, oh, they got some really good Botox, or maybe they got a mini facelift. And they say, oh, I did dry January. And so it is unbelievable, especially the eyelids.
Oh, wow.
The eyelids go back up. The elasticity changes. The collagen is free to do its thing again. There's nothing inhibiting it. And so, alcohol can bring out broken blood vessels, makes your face red and flushed. And if you keep doing it repeatedly, the broken blood vessels stay. And the puffiness underneath the eyes. So you've got puffy and you've got dark. So with alcohol, it dehydrates you and also makes you puffy.
Yeah.
So it takes the water in, and also it does both, like a paradoxal weird combustion. So after a day or a night of drinking, it's interesting. I always notice that the makeup does not set well on the face. The texture is different, and the oil production, it's either really dry or really oily because it comes from the gut. So what you're putting into your body, obviously in our face is our biggest living organ, right? So treat it really nice and think like, it sounds so silly, but I'm like, if we're a car and we're like a really nice car, I'm not going to put bad oil in it, bad gas. I'm going to treat it really well. We only have one. So it's just interesting when I see the huge difference when people have just taken 1 month off and their skin is tight, the elasticity's back, and I barely have to use as much cover up.
That's so interesting.
It's really interesting.
See, our skin doesn't lie. I mean, that's what I think about. Like, the skin is like our biggest organ. So it's like reflecting what we have there. So that's really encouraging, I think, for a lot of our listeners that have taken a pause on alcohol to think about that. Like, it's not just the mental health benefits, but actually on a cellular epidermal level. Is that what's the epidermal level?
I mean,
You're
it
repairing.
really does show what we eat, what we drink, how we take care of ourselves. It just shows up in the skin. I can tell something immediately by someone. Like, it's also dull, it gets dehydrated, and the fine lines come out. Even younger girls who are partying a lot, I always think, oh God, it's going to catch up.
Yeah.
It's going to catch up. I know. Like, I mean, I've been there too. So it's just, if you just take care of your skin and hydrate and do good things, it's like you can avoid getting injectables. It's just basic skincare and just what you put in your body. It's a huge difference. And I was telling you this earlier that one of my favorite stories is that I recently did Charlie Sheen on his tour. He's
awesome.
fascinating. He's so lovely and smart and funny. He's been sober for 8 years. So I'm doing his makeup. And I said, Charlie, your skin is amazing. I mean, the best male skin I've ever done.
Wow.
And he's like, I know, it shouldn't be. And I'm like, that was a bad impression. But I said, why? Because here's an interesting thing. First of all, obviously he's been sober. But his girlfriend years ago, like decades ago, started a skincare line and got him started on oils and natural makeup products, skincare and serums. I was like, your skin is unbelievable. So again, like, our bodies regenerate and the cells regenerate. So if you stop all the things that are bad for you, it's like, oh, thank God. And then it can start going again and building and building.
To totally self-disclose, you turned me on to the oils too. And I think it's really interesting, just the 90s in general, you know, we're Gen Xers, of how anti-oil we were, anti-fat, anti-oil. And just that I had this whole hang up, and it really is incredible just to put actual like oil on your skin and see the regeneration.
Like, I would do a whole podcast just on oil. Like, anyone who knows me is like, oh, here Amanda goes talking about serum again. But it's like we have a bunch of moisturizers and a bunch of lotions, right? We spend a lot of money on them because we're promised it will erase lines and make us 25 again. None of that's true. But I'm all about hydration. So I have very, very dry skin. I always have. I was buying expensive lotions. Places that I worked, I would get a discount and be like, well, this promised me this $500 cream must be amazing. It still wasn't doing it. So one of my friends from Morocco, she didn't take great care of herself. Love her to death. And I said, why is your skin so good? She goes, oil. I'm like, what do you mean? So she turned me on to like cold pressed argan oil. Not the stuff you see in the drugstore, but like actual cold pressed argan oil, which led me to serums. So things say serum, but a vitamin C serum is not necessarily hydrating. It's an active that dries down. So a serum looks like olive oil. It does not have to be expensive. Again, high, mid, low. I know, I swear I'll wrap this up, but I just love talking about it. And if I can reach more people about my oil serum and hydrating oil obsession. So if I'm putting moisturizer on, and this is my face, the moisturizer sits and hugs, right? It protects that lotion. When I put serum on, let's say this is a piece of cake. It's like tres leches. So the molecules are made so small, it's going into the grains of the skin and hydrating from within. It's like the best, most inexpensive skincare you could have. And then on top, then you put that moisturizer on with your SPF. So that is the best anti-aging thing I've ever done. And then out of the shower, we're all putting lotion on. That's going to dry down pretty quick. Put a natural oil, which is actually better for you. Doesn't have any additives or anything all over your body. And that's anti-aging for your skin too. So I will die on this hill. Okay. I will talk about it until people tell me to stop.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that one. I think, too, I would love to talk some about your family, because you come from a very interesting family that definitely has some crossover to Mountainside and the work we do in the mental health field. So tell us a bit about your family.
Yes. So I have 2 step-parents, 2 real parents. So my stepdad, stepmom, and dad are all psychiatrists. And now my brother is a psychiatrist. So we're all very normal.
Yeah.
Very normal. Nothing's wrong with us. We're totally perfect. No, so I grew up in a family where, and my mom's the only one who's not, but I always say she's the smartest one because she's a mom. Moms know everything. So she's amazing. So we grew up with, and my dad's a very famous psychiatrist, but we didn't know that because he was all about
your
family.
dad.
It was just my dad. So we would have discussions at the table and they would say the world is very gray. It's not black and white. We talked about bisexuality. We talked about bipolar, borderline. I thought these were normal dinner conversations until I went to my friend's house and I'm like, it's weird. No one's talking about a disorder or, whatever. But so we were not afraid of therapy. If we needed any kind of medication, any help, we were never afraid to say something because we were just trained like, well, it's just life, right? So they also were in the entertainment industry. A lot of them were actors before they turned psychiatrists.
Actors.
Right?
Well, yeah, and we know where this led with your father. I mean, he has a pretty interesting career.
It's so funny that we grew up in this very open household. Everyone talked about their feelings a lot, and then my husband was like, "Can we just have a regular argument and not talk about our feelings?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay." So I had to do that when I got married. But so my dad was an actor. He majored in acting at Northwestern and had a minor in medicine. So his joke was like, "I want to play a doctor on a soap opera." That was like his whole thing. So then he became this very famous psychiatrist and wrote a ton of books. And also he loved the arts. So he would write articles in the New York Times about like the Prince of Tides and say, this is not what therapy is like.
Yeah.
He loved the arts. He also wrote a book called Psychiatry in the Cinema, depicting any kind of movie that had psychiatrists and therapy in it. And then he met the writers for The Sopranos. And so he was a consultant for the Dr. Melfi scenes with Tony.
That's so
And he
wild.
loved that show. So he was just in heaven. And so he would just write and help them and say, this is normal. They wouldn't say this. And he said one thing that his bar none was they cannot have an affair. You know what? We have to really get that out of people's heads that therapists sleep with their patients. So he just had the best time ever. And then he went to an LA party for one of the premieres of Sopranos. And one of the casting agents was like, "Oh, I love your work." And she said, "You should be on the show." And we joke to this day. That was like 15 years ago. Dad was like, "What? You think I could be an actor again? I'll quit everything." And we're like, "Dad, slow your roll." And she's like, "You don't look like a psychiatrist. You should be an FBI agent." And to this day, he's like, "She never called me."
Oh.
So like once an actor, always an actor, which is so funny. But he does enjoy like any kind of movie that has therapy in it. Like it's just such a cool thing because they were supportive of the arts and anything we did. So, and my grandparents were acting teachers. They taught John Malkovich. They taught Joan Allen in Illinois. And then when they retired, they're like, let's see if we can be actors. And she won a Tony on Broadway for The Grapes of Wrath.
Wow.
She was in my best friend's wedding. She played Cameron Diaz's grandma. She was in Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. Like, it's just like and I thought this was a normal life.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. But I love that, though, because we learned stuff, how hard the business is. And also, mainly, as I wrap this all up, what I grew up with was watching my parents talk to other people and how they treated others was how I was born. Like, oh, you're listening, you're making eye contact, you're not interrupting. They tell you something, you let it land, and then you have a follow-up question. They were so into people and cared about them so deeply, it molded us. And I would see my dad treat everyone as an equal, everyone, like, and learning about people that they had to treat. So we felt like we're very lucky. So the things we complain about, people have a lot of other stuff going on. So compassion, I think, and a love for people and adapting to people is something that I think in any field will make you more successful than just talent.
Absolutely. And it makes sense. It brought you to sort of where you are too. That combination of the arts and the work you do is inherently therapeutic. You know, really seeing people, especially in this culture where, you know, we've got cell phones and AI and all these ways in which we don't really see each other and connect, to actually be seen is so healing. I know that's what a lot of our clients say too, when we're like in group or when we're in therapy, they're like, it just feels so good, you know, that you get to hold space. And I feel like that's a lot of the work you do.
I think like the women I'm with, we'll talk about family, marriage, menopause. We'll complain and then we end up laughing. And so I tell them things, we get deep really close, and I appreciate that trust so much. I just think if you feel someone's energy, maybe you needed it that day too.
Yeah.
So be open. You never know what someone's going through. And they give me a pep in my step in the day. I'll tell my husband a funny story they said or an interesting anecdote. Like a genuine interest in people is fascinating. What does everyone want? To be listened to, to be heard, to be seen. Give them a little compliment. Pay a little attention to them. Like get out of your own mind and your own self. Making someone else feel good is like the best feeling ever.
How did you transition? I know you still do some work like in front of the camera, but how was that transition going from in front of the camera to more behind the camera for you?
It was interesting because I knew how nervous the people were going on stage, and so I always say like I'm a psychiatrist with a makeup brush. Ha ha ha. That was like my joke. Whatever. It's like I used it way too many times. My parents were like, we get it. But so. To help them get to their next level I understand like I'm backstage and like I know there's a crowd out there. I'm so excited for them. And when they got out on stage, I was like sweating. I was so nervous. And when they're off stage, I'm like, this is so great.
Hi everyone, Pat McCarthy here. Managing withdrawal symptoms no longer means leaving home. Mountainside's new outpatient withdrawal program provides confidential professional support with daily check-ins from our psychiatric and clinical team. It's designed for your busy life, so you could heal without disruption. Find out more at mountainside.com.
Just how was it for you though? Did you like feel any loss or shift? I mean, I know
No, I didn't. Only in the last few years, I used to like do a lot of comedy, and I would sing silly songs. And so one of my clients said, who's in the entertainment industry, said, please put that on Instagram. I'm like, no, it's okay. I'm like, I need to be very serious. I need to stay in my lane, right? Well, you know what? I was like, I'm in my mid to late 40s. I'm like, I'm just going to sing a few funny songs about menopause, about a beauty product I like, just to be silly. And those got so much more attention than any of my makeup skills. I could post this TV show I did. I was in Vogue, and they're like, that's nice. But people, I think, want to laugh, and they want something light because everything's so heavy.
Yeah.
So I'm now back in front of the camera again. I'm doing a lot of segments for skincare and makeup and menopause, and like, I feel like I am comfortable in front of the camera and it feels natural, and I talk to people all day long. So I do feel like you don't need to stay in your lane. You can be a Jane or a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Do everything that makes you happy, right?
And be, and authentic to all sides of yourself. Yeah. I think one interesting thing too, you and I talked about is like the warnings you got from other women in the industry too, like what's going to happen to you when you turn 40. And it's not just, we know, theater and cinema in which women feel like they're going to age out, that you're going to lose something. Can you share a bit about that?
That I'm so glad you brought it up because I don't think we talk about this enough.
Yeah.
We individually feel it, we see it, but again, I've done this for 25 years. I've been touching faces in every aspect of the industry. Corporate women, CEOs, you think they've got it made. If you get past 40, they told me when I was like maybe 27, 30, they said, just wait. People start to ignore you. They don't take you seriously. You're not valuable anymore. Your looks determine your success. You can be as smart as you want. Your weight. And if you go through menopause, they think you're crazy. Like, I thought, that's interesting. And now I'm watching it. And these women are so amazing and so smart. And again, not just in the entertainment industry. If you're 40, they're like, oh, you play the grandma now, right? And so I'll be 50 in September. And I think, oh my God, will I be aged out? If you are too old, you don't know enough. You're not with it anymore. But if you're too young, you don't know enough because you haven't lived enough, you don't have enough experience. So I feel like I've been in a sweet spot for a long time, but I'm horrified that these powerful women in my chair, they're like, yeah, there's like, if I don't wear a certain outfit, I don't, they treat me this way. The men can do anything they want, but I have to look a certain way and keep my weight a certain way. People will comment if you've gained 5 pounds or not. I'm like, would they ever say that to a man?
No.
Like, the industry is so rough, and beauty, from my experience, is so much, I had to say, uglier than entertainment because it's all about how you look. Well, are you 65 and telling me how to do my makeup? You don't know anything. Well, maybe they've been doing it for 35 years, so maybe listen to them. So I just see a transition in all these powerful women that I look up to. I see the defeat, and I see how they get treated, but then they're badasses, though. So they come out of it, and they're like, I don't care. Bring it. And the older you get, the more comfortable we are in our own skin, and I feel that too. you don't care anymore as much in the best possible way. So I think it's like you got to really know who you are, your values, and surround yourself with the people who lift you up.
Absolutely. And I feel really fortunate that we're coming up in this age too, where women are just so much more vocal about continuing to go for it. Like, you're 40, you're not dead yet. Like, let's go. There's a lot more to do. And like a lot of our women that are listening are actively reinventing themselves, actively choosing new careers, going out, trying new things in sobriety, figuring out who they are. So it's inspiring, I think, for us all to talk about that, like that confidence that comes with age. You can buy certain things, you can train, you can read, you can do all these studying, but like there's a certain confidence that comes that you can only live.
Yes, and I'd rather try and fail than years from now go, I wonder what would have happened if I tried this. There's a reason that life is in chapters. And a lot of women who I work with are in their second, third chapter, and they are flourishing because they're like, what do I have to lose? What am I going to do, cry if it doesn't work out? You've been through so much already. You can constantly reinvent yourself. And like, what brings you joy? So Instagram, social media, yes, it can be annoying. It's also our own platform. No one's looking at a website anymore. Talk to the camera. Tell me things about you. People want to know who you are. So I feel like there are so many outlets right now in podcasts. We are interested in people again and what they're thinking and doing. So I'm just say sky's the limit. I feel like there's such a powerful movement, like with Tamsin Fadal and her M Factor. I was on a panel with these renowned doctors, and I was like, I like makeup. But so we had our screening of her film, and then afterwards they were talking about menopause and perimenopause, and there was like a fabulous celebrity dermatologist, and then I started talking about the easy quick fixes, right? Because we don't know ourselves anymore. Our bodies are different. Our hormones are out of control. And I started to just say silly things like, how often do we find that chin hair that no one told us was there, but we find it in the rearview mirror. So we ended up laughing. And I think you have to laugh through things or obviously you're going to cry your eyes out. So that's when I started changing popular song lyrics to menopause lyrics. And then Melanie Sanders from Just Being Melanie, the We Do Not Care Anymore Club, I love her. She shared it. It went viral. I was like, okay. So then I started doing some more songs. And then Naomi Watts' team reached out from Stripes Beauty. And we're like, hey, we like your funny videos. I'm like, she's like, Naomi shares them in our group chats. I'm like, oh, I would have made them a lot better. Like I just threw a wig on it just to be silly. So they hired me for 2 songs and now we're It's like the women together were so powerful.
Yeah.
Like connection is everything. And also we can do anything when we put our minds to it. Like we're not going to not talk about menopause, and our husbands now, we call it menopause. They're like, they get it now. And so they're not just like, they're being crazy. What's wrong? Like, I just love that we're talking about all the things now.
Yeah. I think, that's a huge part about it, talking about it and connecting on it. And I think that's, again, a place that we do really well here is bringing people together to connect on things that maybe are more vulnerable, like the equivalent of the chin hair in the rearview mirror, like getting together and talking about
fit everything. I said the only elasticity we have is in our waistband because nothing fits. We have an elastic waistband in our pants.
I guess I was thinking too is I always think with like perimenopause and menopause, like menopause, that it's, if you get here, you're really lucky. The fact if you get here, you are really, really lucky. But unfortunately, I think for so long, there was this commercial push of like, you've got to fight it. You've got to change everything. You've got to, avoid the wrinkles, avoid the body changing, all these things that are actually part of nature that, again, are inherent to making it that long, to getting older.
It's a gift, I think. Aging is a privilege. And I feel like you hear that your whole life, but now we're getting to that age. You're like, wow, I cannot complain. I can get out of bed, have a cup of coffee. Everything, like we are very lucky to be alive. So when they say, oh, I'm dreading my next birthday, there's a lot of people who would have loved to have another birthday. And I think that's near and dear with you and I, with a lot of, personal stuff we've had going on. And I don't take anything for granted anymore. Like we have to really be like, you know what? That's not the worst thing that could ever happen today. You know what? It's a great day and life is long and we need to be, hopefully if we're lucky, we can live into our 70s, and a lot of people don't get there. So we can't complain because we're so lucky to have like the day, like today.
Yeah.
It's a great day.
I wonder too if you'd be willing to share. I think one part about your story that is very relatable too, and the sort of talking about like age and demographics is like coming up in New York City, being young, and the pressures again to be thin, and what that did. You know, sort of we were talking about like the days when like Diet Coke and a pack of raisins is it.
Oh,
I'm being all.
Absolutely. I think the pressure of society is perfection.
Yeah.
And so it depends on your personality. Are you someone who's like, I don't need that? Or you're like, well, maybe I should. So, yeah, I struggled with an eating disorder for years. And what I realized was that of course, my parents were like, go to therapy. So I was lucky enough to go to therapy and I did all the things. But it's also, you're embarrassed. So it's like having an addiction, but you're smiling and you're fine and everyone thinks you have a perfect life. And you don't. But that strive for perfection and to fit someone else's mold, and also I'm a people pleaser. So all that combination was not good enough. Then every day you walk in, you're too fat, you're too thin, you're too old, you're too young. No, no, no. So there was little you could control. A lot of stuff in my life was happening. So the only thing I could control was my calories. And I was like, I got this. I'm going to nail this thing. And it was like my private little thing I did on the side, but no one knew. And, my hair is thinning. My skin looks terrible. My bones hurt. And it was right before 9/11. And so I had my first therapy session 2 days after 9/11. And I remember thinking that day, I had a box of raisins and a Dr. Pepper. I thought, I'm doing really good today. I had almost 400 calories. That was normal to me. So I think with any kind of addiction, your brain chemistry changes. That I was telling you earlier that, and I'm always very open about it. I'm like, no one has it all together. We all have weird pasts, but hey, if we get through it, tell the story. So I went to my therapist and I was very like, I'm in control here. And I was like, I know everything. I'm proud of my disorder, like way too confident because my brain chemistry had changed so much. I didn't know it was weird or bad anymore. So I said, listen, I appreciate you, what you're trying to do, but you can't change me because I've made the decision that I'd rather live not as long, but be thin. And she said, really? I said, oh yeah, I've already made that decision. And when I think about that now, I think, it's such a weird, your brain changes with any kind of addiction. If you're overdoing something or malnourishing yourself, you just do not think straight. So I really care for people who are going through these things. You don't want this. It's just happening to you and you can't get out of it. So if you can talk to someone, just talk therapy is so good. Like I always say, people say, I don't need therapy. I think everyone at some level needs to talk to someone who's not their friend, not a family member. They don't know you. It saved me. And obviously I came from psychiatrists, but it was very private to me. I was embarrassed. I can't say that I have a problem when, my parents are these renowned therapists, but they were so loving. Like, what can we do to help you? So I'm very lucky that way. But yeah, it's tough when people expect you to be a certain way. Oh,
the best beauty secrets, if you want to chase youth, is not to drink because it will age you. And like you said, when you see that dry January effect, you see the skin rejuvenate, you see the hair, you can see the body rehydrating.
Yeah.
So our body will show us. Our body will absolutely show us. How did your family take you becoming a makeup artist and not going into like a psychiatric field?
Oh, they were so fine because it was entertainment or medicine.
Yeah.
So my family, we all kind of split in the middle. But I think they knew I always loved it. So again, they were so supportive. They're like, well, what makes you happy? So I just love it. I feel like if, again, you do something you love, you don't feel like you're working. It's a really amazing thing.
What about when people say makeup is completely superficial? I know what I say. I say like, no, it's as old as time. Like Cleopatra wore makeup. Like, what do you make of that we are so intertwined cross-culturally with makeup?
I think it goes back, yeah, exactly. Again, like so early on, and I was so dorkily fascinated when I went to esthetician school and we learned about this. I thought it was so cool. And so like, again, like Cleopatra, the kohl eyeliner, we're like, ooh, it's a smoky eye. It's so cool.
Yeah.
It was like to ward off evil spirits and also protect their eyes from the sun. Interesting. And then you think of all the berries and all the things that they had. They found jewels, good, stones that were beautiful. So they were sparkly and celebrated. So they took that and put it on their face, color on their face to celebrate them, to feel special. And again, like the Korean culture would not want any bronzer. To this day, my clients don't want any bronzer. They want to be beautiful and porcelain and pale because that stems back to they were privileged. They didn't have to work in the fields or have sun on their face. And then I've got my clients who are like, I'm not tan enough. I want a border orange. Like, I love my tan. So that there are so many things that even like in the 20s and Marilyn bringing the red lip back because that was sensual and sexy. It's self-expression. It's rebellion, which is also cool. Like, I don't want to look like everyone else. I'm going to show you, like, if I get my hair cut and I dye it pink and spiky, if I wear crazy clothes or if I get a tattoo, I'm expressing myself so you know about me when I first meet you. So I do think it's confidence. I love that they said rebellion. I just thought that was so cool. And it is who you are. You're self-identifying. So I feel like me, if I have, I don't know, like big lashes or a red lip, I feel like me if I only have a little tinted sunscreen on. Like, it's such a part of your identity. And I feel like it is confidence that if you look the way, like, this feels like me, no matter head to toe what you need to do, that makes you walk differently. And you attract people because you feel good about yourself. So I always say, no, it's not about vanity. Let me put makeup on you, then you'll be pretty. It's just that, like, oh, my sunspot was covered up. Oh, I look so good. It's that kind of thing that I take so seriously. And I feel like people have been doing it from the beginning of time until now. And so we're just evolving and evolving, but it's so saturated right now.
Yeah. Can we briefly talk about that too? Why is the makeup industry so saturated and crazy now?
I think when Instagram and TikTok.
Okay.
Because there are so many millions of products and millions of people telling us what to do, and people are making a lot of money doing it. And something that I find interesting is that a 19-year-old in Colorado who's never touched another face, right? And she's only put makeup on herself in her bedroom, making millions selling product and giving us beauty advice and skincare and anti-aging advice. And I'm like, And, you know, you think of a lot of us, like, we are still in the field every day. We walk into a room, we don't know who we're going to see, and we have to adapt to them. I've got 25 minutes. You have a skin issue. You have this, like, we got to make it happen. So there's a lot of us OGs who are like, must be nice to just kind of do a tutorial in your bedroom and make all this money when you've never been in the field or touched another face.
Like in real life.
In real life, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just interesting. We're so influenced, but then when you get it, you're like, well, that doesn't look good on me.
Yeah.
So it's honestly, talk to someone who knows what they're talking about. And I do love making videos, and because I want to give my message out that I don't support like only specific brands. I like all of it. Drugstore, high, mid, low. So I think it's so saturated. Find that person online who you identify with, or someone at a local salon, or call me. I'll help you. I'll tell you the truth too, because I'm honest, you know? We don't need a $70 lip gloss. We don't. Sorry.
It's so much fun talking to you, Amanda. I'll say, just in closing, like, one of the things you taught me that I love, that was really cool for me to go into the new year with, when I first met you, to have my makeup done for an event at Mountainside in November, you said, bring everything you own. Just bring it all. Bring the things you never wear. Bring, the makeup that someone gifted you. Bring it all. Bring the old makeup, bring whatever. And we went through it, and you utilized things that I'd had for a while. I shouldn't say for how long. Yeah. And to see how it really worked, what the applications were, if it was time to get rid of it, or if it could be repurposed in some way. And I love that whole metaphor of, like, using what you have. Use what you have before you go out and buy things, spend things. We all have so much typically. In that realm, in our culture, I don't want to say we all have excess of everything, but that is a place where I think we have a lot sometimes in cosmetics and lotions and potions, as you said. Yeah. So utilizing what you have first, and really being with someone present to actually look at you and see how it works on you, like the actual
or
who you are now.
Or mix those two things, and then it's your color. You've bought a lot of stuff. You ordered it online in the middle of the night. You went to a counter. You went to Sephora, and you're like, I just spent $800 and I don't know how to use this. But sometimes they need to sell that blue eyeshadow because their manager is. So, again, I don't sell product. I'll give you suggestions, absolutely. But again, show me all your stuff that you use and don't use. And I enjoy that, because I'm not trying to make you spend thousands of dollars, but your day look and a night look you can do on your own. And I love that. It empowers people, you know?
Thank you, Amanda. So where can we find you?
Instagram, it's Amanda S. Gabbard. And I believe TikTok, which I should be better about, is the same. And also my website is AmandaGabbardBeauty.com.
AmandaGabbardBeauty.com. Thank you so much for joining us today in Chelsea, Manhattan for the Sober Spill. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for doing our makeup today. As you notice, we have beautiful makeup today done by Amanda Gabbard.
If you or a loved one is struggling with addiction, Mountainside can help. Call 860-365-6764 to speak with our caring treatment team.